The challenges facing education in South Africa are enormous. The transformation from an education system geared at minority privilege to a system aimed at representing all South Africans requires great effort. Meanwhile, many of our schools are in crisis.
Both students and teachers, we've got a problem.
Because the students are making a lot of things like coming with dark at school, the alcoholic,
carrying of guns, weapons, fighting.
Last year we had almost gang fights in school. People coming from outside bringing fights here at school.
Even Monday, some teachers will not come to school.
We didn't finish the syllabus. Teachers say that students don't want to learn, and we students, we say that teachers, they are not willing to teach.
From grade 1 up to grade 7, they were bringing pornographic material.
The teachers are falling in love with us. Then we can hear them complaining that the children are pregnant. They forget that they are the ones that make us pregnant.
Some teachers we drinking with the school children.
I had an incident where a standard 3 kid brought a gun to school.
The parents are to blame for the situation in our schools because they have put the burden of their children on the teachers, and teachers cannot control students if at home they're not behaving well.
The chaos in many of our schools has complex roots and is often the result of apartheid and the inequalities we inherited in our education system. But there are other factors as well. Many schools are badly managed, have ineffective structures, and a culture that is not conducive to learning and teaching.
A lot of our staff members are not happy with the running of the school. You know, we were held ransom. It was as if we did not have rights. You know, we are only here to teach the kids and teach the kids according to somebody else's way of teaching the kids. You know,
there is communication breakdown. You know, there's someone acting alone, doing things on his own, and which makes people not appear not being cooperative. You see.
Besides being authoritarian, many school structures are weak and ineffective, and the culture in the school is one of apathy and indifference.
Historically, I think there are a number of reasons why there are these problems. One, the system of apartheid was run by an Afrikaner called the Broederbond, and they virtually gave instructions what had to be done by the government departments, including then obviously schools, which therefore meant that the people that were running these institutions were not really allowed to play leadership roles. It was quite intolerant, very rigid. And this then passed on, it developed a culture, I think a culture of intolerance, a culture of lack of democracy. There was very little participation by various members of staff, by governing bodies.
The death of the culture of learning is not purely a function of bad management. It is, I think, a hangover of what was done in '76 and the years thereafter. Something which was necessary and had a consequence which people did not prepare for, or for which people have not devised a strategy to reverse. The same thing has happened to the teachers. Instead of taking that energy which was used to fight the system, to say now we have the power to ensure that this government will provide us with proper education and provide us with proper conditions of service. The teachers have used that power and energy in a very impulsive and impatient manner to destroy what could be a conduit for building up education in this country.
Instead of focusing on the past, we now need to rebuild our schools. We need to rebuild structures, but we also need to recreate the culture of learning and teaching in the school. So how do we create schools that work, but are also democratic? What are some schools doing to turn things around?